Okay, this is going to be fun. So hello and yes, welcome back to another album review with me, Rockboy680. And today we're going to be going over a very controversial album. I've heard a lot of people talking about this album, and I've talked to a lot of people about this album, and it's either a love or hate kind of thing. I really find that the people who love this album are just the die-hard, massive John Lennon fans, and I absolutely love John Lennon. He is one of the greatest, most influential musicians who has ever walked this planet. Just an amazing all-round guy. He put out some of the best music we will ever experience as human beings. You know, he is just the man. He's brilliant. But this album is split, of course. It is half his album, really, and half to his second wife, Yoko Ono. And how do I feel about her? Well, that's the question, really. That's what sways this argument, whether you love this album or hate it. It really depends on your opinion of her, because she dominates quite a bit of the album. In fact, I think she gets more time on this album than John, to be honest. And, you know, my opinion of Yoko, I guess I'll start off the review by doing that, as she's such an important part of this album. And I know there are going to be people who disagree with me, no matter what I said. If I said I'd hate her, or if I said I loved her, there's going to be people who disagree with me on both sides, and they are going to completely destroy me for it in the comments, I know. But this channel is about my opinion, and my opinion is all that matters to me, really, on this subject, because it's how I feel. And yeah, I'll just say it, I do not like Yoko Ono one bit. Musically, her voice, no, I do not like it one bit. And people are going to say to me in the comments, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? Because I've had people say that to me before. And it's like, no, there's no trying it anymore. I've tried her enough. I know I don't like her. It's kind of like getting someone who likes jazz, kind of slow music, and giving them like Five Finger Death Punch heavy metal stuff to listen to. They're not going to like it. That is how I feel about Yoko Ono. I do not like her voice. However, this album, she's experimenting. She's going with John. She's doing different things to what she's done in the past. So it's worth giving it a go to see if she can, you know, see what she can do with John. So it's quite an interesting album to listen to. But anyway, let's get started, I guess. So in this review, I'm going to do the usual. We're going to go over a bit of information on the album. We're going to go over each track individually. I'm going to score each track out of 10. I'm going to show you my copy of the vinyl record, and we're going to add up all those scores, which will give us our overall mark out of 10. And then, of course, I have cut out a slip here. I'm going to cover up the overall score for the album with my finger, and we're going to put it on my album ranking board and see where it ranks. So anyway, let's just get started. Let's get started. I'll save my what I want to say about Yoko to when we get to her in the tracks. So anyway, of course, John Lennon, Yoko Ono with the Elephant's Memory Band. So this was John's first proper album with Yoko. Of course, he'd done Two Virgins, Life with the Lions, and the Wedding album, which really aren't proper albums, but he'd done them three with Yoko. So this is kind of his fourth album with Yoko, but first proper one. It's his third album since he'd split up from the Beatles, not including them three experimental ones, after the Plastic Ono Band's, the proper Plastic Ono Band album, and Imagine, which were both amazing, huge successes, fantastic albums. So third proper studio album, coming out on the 15th of September 1972. Hit number 11 in the UK and hit number 48 in the US. And I think in America you guys got it right this time. And yeah, it was the first album which he'd done since he'd moved to New York. So you can really kind of, you could have predicted really back then, okay, this is probably going to have a bit of a different sound to it. It's not going to sound like Plastic Ono Band or Imagine, which, in a way, I mean, them two were fantastic albums. I love them to bits. They'd be very high-ranking albums if I was to review them. But, you know, you kind of gets, okay, he's probably going to get a bit of a different sound. He's not got the same band. He hasn't got, you know, Klaus Voormann there anymore doing bass for him. He hasn't got, what's his name, Keith Kelfner, I think, the drummer. He hasn't got him there. I think Eric Clapton coming down a bit of guitar work on the first album. So, you know, it's like he's moved away. He's got this new band, Elephant's Memory Band, which actually, the Elephant's Memory Band, while they're not my favourite band, they could actually make some really good music. And their sax player, was one of the best saxophone players ever. Only problem is I really felt on this album they go a bit overboard with the saxophone playing, but anyway, we'll get to that, So anyway, let's just dive straight into the tracks now. So the first track up is Woman is the Nigger of the World. What a title, what a title. I mean, that was, yeah, when he put that out, I'm sure he knew he wasn't going to get no backlash from that. So anyway, I'll also say quickly before I move on with the song, I'm not going to talk about lyrics on all the songs, because this album is very political. It goes into a lot of detail in the lyrics. But anyway, I'll just do it for the songs which I feel where we need to go into the lyrics. But anyway, Woman is a Nigger of the World, going into the lyrics. This was inspired by James Connolly, the John, who of course was pro-feminist. You know, he was really talking about feminism and stuff, and John really took a lot of that on board and decided to write this song kind of about the things he was saying. And this song really is kind of just stating the fact of what it was like in the 70s or the early 70s and the 60s for women. You know, they kind of were treated still like slaves, you know, kind of really put in a bad place. And, you know, what John was speaking up about is very important, really, because I completely agree with it. I think everyone and everything should be equal. That's all it should be. I think everyone should be equal. But anyway, I don't want to get into that too much. I really want to talk about the music more than anything with this. So I really do kind of get what John was saying on this song. Did he say it in the right way? Not at all. Not at all. Calling women niggers, I don't think is a very appropriate thing to be doing on an album which is obviously going to get a lot of attention because he's an ex-Beatle. So, do I think he done it in the right way? No. But was it clear? Yes. And was he brave to do it? Yes. So, I think overall, you know, very brave of John to do it. So, I'm not going to say too much more on that. But anyway, the song itself opens up with a good sax at the start. With some really good vocals, really. Some of the best vocals on the album, I have to say. Really kind of soft vocals where you can feel John is really just, you know, he's going really all out on this one here, really, with his vocals. It sounds phenomenal. But the only problem is the song just generally doesn't change. It doesn't evolve. And you've just like a 6-minute long track and nothing happens. The lyrics kind of just repeat themselves. Keep singing the same thing again and again and again. And the lyrics don't get faster or slower. They kind of just got the same pace. It generally is a decent song for the first minute, and then it gets very boring very quickly. However, because of what the song's about and, you know, the lyrics and stuff, I kind of don't want to rag too much on this song because it's quite a ballsy song to do, and I really respect Lennon for doing it. So I'm not going to go too harsh, but I'm going to give that one a 4 out of 10. So then we move on to the track Sisters, Oh Sisters, and oh my god, did someone chop John's balls off, or have they let Yoko near the mic? Okay, so anyway, let's talk about the lyrics first. The lyrics are about, you know, they're about women who, it's basically Yoko singing about women and how she thinks that they should use their power to change the world, really. And how, if they spoke up more, they could make more of a difference. Again, I agree with it. I mean, yeah, come on. I mean, back in the 70s, it's definitely what the world needed. And thank God today, you know, that everything's getting better, of course. But anyway, as I said, I didn't want to get too much into that, but I keep talking about the lyrics too much. But anyway, the song itself, let's just talk about the song. Oh my god, it starts off with horrible vocals that you can't even understand because there's a drum going on in the background. She's not exactly putting too much effort in. It's just all sounding like a big blur of horrible noise, which my cat would have made, you know. It sounds awful. And then it goes into an annoying tune. Like, hysterically bad. I mean, I don't get it. The song starts off with this horrible intro, and then the tune is just so funny bad. It's like something that you'd play at a little kid's, without the vocals, obviously, but, you know, the tune's like a little just, what you play it like a preschool kind of thing, or a little, you know, you've got all the toddlers just, like, bobbing their heads back and forward in the 70s. You can imagine it, this song, without the vocals, obviously, because it scared them off, but you can imagine just if it was an instrumental, the kids kind of just like bobbing their heads along with playing with their little bricks and making Lego towers and stuff. So the tune is just hysterical, and then the vocals, oh my god, the vocals are just awful. It's an absolute piece of shit. So this song is going to get a 1 out of 10, but I give it the 1 because the tune is quite creative. It's hysterically bad, but it's creative. So anyway, there's that. And then we go on to Atanic State. Now, Atanic State is a song which John wrote just on his 31st birthday, I believe. And of course, the riots had happened, and basically the song's about the prisoners that were killed in the riots. I'm not gonna get into the lyrics. I nearly did again. But anyway, good guitar opener. You think, okay, well, maybe that was the shit stain on the record and we're past it. And the guitar opening is great. You know, it sounds great. And then Lennon and Yoko decide to sing together. Yeah? So you think, okay, we got Lennon, so maybe that will kind of make Yoko sound a bit better. If anything, it could make him sound worse, to be honest. Their vocals do not mix well at all. Not at all. I mean, it's just, again, it's just like, I don't get what was going through their heads when they were recording this. They were obviously doing too much drugs, because I don't know, it just does not sound good at all. But apart from that, the tune itself is great. The Elephant's Memory Band saved this song. Well, they don't really save it, but they kind of make it not as bad as the last song. They kind of make this one a bit more interesting. Great guitar work on this one. So for the guitar work alone, really, it's going to get a 3 out of 10. And then we get to Born in a Prison, another one which is pretty much just Yoko Ono. And Born in a Prison is a metaphor for what the song's really about. But the tune itself, just the vocals, again, just not very good. Bit better than Sisters Oh Sisters, I'll give her that. But still not very good. You know, and the vocals on this album, the tune on this album and the lyrics just very kind of drawn out and boring, really. The song doesn't change at all. It goes at the same pace throughout the whole thing. And the chorus doesn't really pick up when we get to that, which takes a while to come in as well. The tune and the vocals just don't really work well together. They don't bounce off each other. They don't give us very good vibes. And as a listen, it really is a pretty painful one, because it just doesn't do anything. It doesn't go anywhere. And it really needs to, because it's not a very good tune to start with. So, yeah, that one's going to get a 2 out of 10. And then we get New York City. I'm not a religious person, but I'm praying, thank you for this song. Thank you, because without this song, this album would have been a disaster. This song, New York City, Lennon is about his time in New York City. Simple. We're not going into politics. We're not going into anything else. Lennon just singing about his time in New York, and it's a bloody good rocker. It's, you know, I probably wouldn't think this song is amazing if it was on, you know, Mind Games or Walls and Bridges. But because the rest of the album is really not very good, this song is just a lifesaver. It's incredible. I love it. The song is fantastic. You've got a fantastic guitar riff. John's vocals are amazing. The lyrics are very simple. To be honest, more simple than half the songs that we've heard. But I don't care. I really don't care. You know, I really fancy some simple lyrics after what I've already experienced on this album. Brilliant, brilliant song. I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10. Thank you, Jesus Christ, God, anyone else for that song. It was a lifesaver. So anyway, that's the end of side 1. So, overall opinion of side 1. We got 1 great song, 1 which was okay, and then 3 just blah. But anyway, let's move on. Sunday Bloody Sunday opens up side 2. And it's an interesting drum start, and good saxophone work on this one. This is really where the sax shines. But, you know, it might be getting a bit overused, as I say, at this point on the album, because it's featured on nearly all of the first tracks. And, you know, I mean, it's, again, good vocals from John, and, you know, the chorus, I really do think that that's the thing with the song. It really starts off well. Love John's vocals, nice guitar work. It's just the chorus. I don't know why they keep letting her scream. The thing is, Yoko didn't really do too much work with her vocals before this album. She really, you know, Yoko's story really is, she got with John. I had no problem with that. She sits in all the Beatles recordings. It's like, a bit weird, but okay, whatever. She helped John produce his first 2 albums. Okay, fair enough. They were great albums. So if she had some input there, she surely must be okay at producing. But she never really done too much with the vocals. And then on this album, she kind of just come out of nowhere and said, okay, I'm going to sing. And this chorus really shows why she shouldn't, because it's just it's just, you know, it's screeching almost down the mic, and it's not what people want to hear. So the chorus on this one, if it wasn't for the chorus, I'd probably say like 7 out of 10 on this song. Yeah, not too bad. But the chorus is so bad, I'm going to drop it down to a 4. So, anyway, that's Sunday Bloody Sunday. That one had really good potential, but then they let her near the mic again. And then we get The Luck of the Irish. Nice acoustic song with... sounds a lot better after the screeching we just experienced. Good lyrics and vocals from John. Even Yoko's vocals, I will say, are a bit better on this one. See, I don't want to just destroy Yoko. I don't, because I think if she put more effort in and just took it slower and went in a different key, she has the potential to be okay. You know, it's hard for her, I think, but she has the potential to occasionally be okay. And I think The Luck of the Irish is where she is okay. This is her best vocal performance, I think. And, yeah, it's just a better song. I'm not going to say I like it, but I won't say I dislike this one. So I'm going to go straight in the middle with a 5 out of 10 on this one. And then we get Lennon's other full-blown Lennon track, and it's called John Sinclair. John Sinclair's a man who got put in jail and they were trying to get him out, blah, blah, blah. You guys all know the story. Anyway, what do I think of this song? It opens up with this guitar sound, this kind of raw guitar sound, which I can't lie, I'm not a big fan of. But anyway, I was like, okay, we're not going to get Yoko on this one, so let's go with it. Wasn't awful, kind of a creative tune, just didn't like the guitar sound they picked, but anyway. Yeah, it was going good, and then he hit the chorus where he goes, you got to set him free. And it's like, what? It just gets annoying. It is one of the most annoying songs ever, because it does that about 3 times. It's not a very long song, and all the other tracks on here are long, so it's like, we get a short song, it's like, well, hey, this is going to be somewhat good. They're not going to draw this out. But they still managed to draw out even the short song. You know, the fact that kept happening, I was, by the second time they got to that got to bit, I just picked up the needle and went, I'm done with that song. Pains me to say it, but not a good song at all, really. Even though it is just Lennon. Just don't like it. So that one's going to get 4 out of 10. Only 2 more to go. Okay, so then the next track up is Angela. And it starts straight away with John and Yoko singing together again. Okay, whatever, I've already talked about that. As you guys can tell, I'm really just going to end up repeating myself a bit. So anyway. Doesn't work. It's a very boring song. Again, goes nowhere. Kind of like Born in a Prison. It's like Born in a Prison and, what one am I thinking of? Atlantic State kind of come together. It's like, I don't know. It's not a good song at all. And it's very boring, as I say. But there's a couple good elements to it, I guess. So I'll give that one a 2. And then we get to We're All Water, which is a full-blown Ono song. And the thing is, it's, you know, a bit more fun and upbeat song, really. She starts off singing, and which doesn't sound great, but it's not her worst vocal performance. Guitar work and stuff on it, pretty good. It's just sounding like another bit of a boring kind of track. It's like, okay, well, I guess at the minute I was thinking, okay, 3 or 4 out of 10 for this one. Then we get to the end of the song, where she starts screaming down the mic. And I mean it, she's screaming, full on making sex sounds down it. You know, if I was listening to this and someone walked past my bedroom, they think I had some music on in the background to cover up me watching porn. That's honestly what people would think. The song is that bad. So I know the first half of the song is okay, so I probably shouldn't give it the mark I'm going to give it, but because I couldn't stand the second half of this song. It's the first time I'm doing this, hopefully the last time I'm doing this song is going to get a 0 out of 10. Can't stand it. Probably the worst song I can think of off the top of my head that a Beatle contributed to. I would rather listen to the experimental album that George done, the Electronic Sounds. I would rather listen to the Fireman albums from McCartney. I would even rather listen to some of Ringo's 90s stuff, you know, than this. It is just, that track is one of the worst songs. It probably is, as I say off the top of my head, the worst song a Beatle has contributed to. It is appalling. Now then, of course, before I move on to show the record, I know not everyone's going to agree with my opinion here, and I'm sure I'm going to bring in a few dislikes for this video, so hey, But, you know, the point is, this is my opinion. I know people are going to disagree. So, hey, I mean, it isn't an opinion-based review, guys. So, if you like the album, of course, let me know in the comments. You know, you're more than welcome to share your opinion, and I respect it. Some people are going to like this. You know, our tastes vary. That's your taste. This is mine. So, of course, let me know in the comments what you think. But anyway, now let's have a look at the album artwork, because I'm also going to mark this out of 10. And I actually really like the cover. You know, it looks like a newspaper drawing. Some of the pictures here, again, you know, they're going to cause some, you know, people are not going to like all the images used here and stuff. But you get all the lyrics on here, and it's a very cool, creative piece. But then you get the gatefold, which again is quite nice. You get some pictures of the band, but kind of doesn't flow well with the album artwork on the cover. But, yeah, you know, the artwork's pretty good, so I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10. And here we have the inner sleeve. And then, yeah, there is actually a live album included in here, but I don't want to include that in my ranking. But I'll say this about the live album. I really like the live version of Cold Turkey. That's a lot of fun. Really cool. But that's about it. There's about another 3 songs on there, I think, which are all done by Miss Yoko Ono. So, so yeah, I'll pull out the second sleeve. Plain black, really, just a bit of lyrics. And then, of course, do also contain the album in the box set here, and the CD box set. So, yeah, 3 copies is more than enough, really. But anyway, adding up all the scores for this album. So what is it, 10 tracks on here, I believe? Yep, 10 tracks plus the artwork score. So, 11 I'm going to be dividing it by. I've added up all of the numbers which I've scored it, and I've divided it by 11. And overall, this album is going to get a 3.6. Which generally, I think, might even still be a little bit kind, to be honest. But anyway, 3.6 is what it's getting. I definitely am happy with that, I can't lie. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over and put it on the album ranking board. So then, yes, here we are, back over to the album ranking board, of course. I'm sorry, I couldn't quite get it all in the shot, but I got what we needed in the shot. And if I remember correctly, it was only about 3 weeks ago when I reviewed the Who Face Dances, and it got 4.7. I was saying, I'm not sure anything's going to quite get below that. Well, here we are with John Lennon and Yoko Ono, Sometime in New York City, getting a 3.6. So, that one's going to go just about there. Now then, generally, I'm not going to lie to you right now, I really don't know when that one will be beaten. I know I said that about the Who's Face Dances, but I really do mean it with this one. So yeah, anyway, that's it for this video, guys. Now then, as I say, I know a lot of you are going to disagree, and hopefully there might be a couple people out there who agree. But anyway, so that's my opinion of this album. I'm kind of pleased I did it, because this is an album which a lot of people seem to enjoy talking about, because it's so back and forward. I like it, I hate it, I like it, I hate it. You know, so it's kind of cool to finally put my opinion out there on it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing me tear some of these songs apart, and you know, I hope I gave the parts that really deserved praise some praise, because there are a couple good moments on here. But anyway, that's my review of John Lennon and Yoko Ono and the Elephant's Memory Band, Sometime in New York City. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. I played New York City on the intro, but I'm going to spare you all of listening to any of the other 9 disasters. So I'm going to cue us out with a good John Lennon song. See you guys next time.